Playing by the rules, playing by the rules. Don't touch the rule book again. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Playing by the Rules. My name is Joe, and today we'll be learning how to play Men at Work. This game is brought to us by Pretzel Games. This game takes about 30 minutes to play and can be played with anywhere from 2 to 5 players. In this game, you will be building on a construction site in order to earn Employee of the Month awards while avoid losing your safety certificates. Let me show you how to set up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do to set up for Men at Work is to hand out 3 of these safety certificates to each player. We can leave the rest in the box. I have them set up because it looks nice and I'm making this video. But 3 to each player, the rest can stay in the box. The next thing we're going to need are all of our building materials. We've got our workers, all of our girders, our beams, our bricks, and our supports. Those will need to be in reach of everybody who is playing the game. The other things we're going to need to set up is our safety awards just in a pile somewhere for later in the game. We'll need our little tool / measuring stick here. Again, that will be used later in the game. And then the last thing we'll need is our deck of cards here. So we'll take our deck, give it a good shuffle or two, and then you're going to take this boss card and you will put her about a quarter of the way through the deck. So we'll just, find the approximate quarter of the way through the deck. There's no point to count the cards and figure out the exact quarter. Makes the game a little bit more different every time you play. You just kind of guesstimate. Once you've done all that, setup is complete, and we can begin to play the game. To start play, the rules indicate that the youngest player will go first. On his first turn, he will take 3 supports, 4 girders, 1 of each color, and 1 worker. He will place each of the supports on the table in any way he sees fit. He can place them laying down like this, he can place them standing up like that, or standing all the way up like this. I will just place mine down here like this, and then he will take his 4 girders and place them on the supports so that they do not touch the table. They must only touch the supports or the other girders. He will then take the worker and place the worker on 1 of the girders. They cannot touch the table, the supports, and they cannot straddle girders like that. They must be placed on 1 girder in any way they see fit on any color of girder. Okay, the next thing the starting player is going to do is to take a basic turn. Now, a basic turn consists of taking the top card of the deck and flipping it over. This new top card of the deck will indicate what kind of a thing we will be adding to the construction site. This hat symbol signifies a worker. So we'll be adding a worker to the construction site. Now, on that card, there's also different colored gloves for each color of girder. Those gloves indicate what color of girder we're allowed to add that worker to. As well as the flipped over card indicates what type of rule we must follow when adding the worker to the construction site. This card says transporting 1 beam. So we have to take 1 of our beams. Transporting means that you have to put it on the worker before you place him on the construction site, and we're allowed to put him on either a black one or the red one. So we'll take our guy, and it doesn't matter where you place him on there, as long as he places there and he's holding the beam still. You're also only allowed to use 1 hand. So I can't double hand him and, hold that there while I place him down. That's not allowed. It's a 1-hand situation. Place him down and not knock anything over. Play will then continue clockwise to the next player's turn. The next player does not need to do any of that beginning setup that we did on the starting player's turn. Instead, they just need to take the basic turn. which consists of, again, flipping over the top card here and figuring out what we're going to place to the construction site. Now, we have the girder symbol, so obviously we're placing a girder there. The colors this time indicate which color of girder we're allowed to place on the construction site, not which color they have to touch. So we got a white and a purple. I'll choose white. And then back to our rules here, it says touch the highest. So I just need my white girder here to touch the highest other girder on the construction site, which happens to be this red one. So as long as I'm touching the red one and I'm not touching the table, I'm playing by the rules. And that will be that player's turn. Play then continues clockwise to the next player's turn. Play will continue clockwise until one person has revealed the boss card. When that card's revealed, we will set her aside as she stands there and evaluates how good of an employee you really are. At this point, the boss will start handing out these Employee of the Month awards. These awards are how you will win the game. If you're playing a 2-player game, you will need 5 awards to win. If you're playing a 3 to 4 player game, you'll need 4 awards to win. And if you're playing a 5-player game, you'll only need 3 of these awards to win. Now, in order to get one of the Employee of the Month awards, you will have to place your worker or your girder as the new occupant of the highest position on the construction site. Now, some of the rules won't allow you to do that. Now, if later in the game there's some people who disagree whether your piece is the new highest piece, this game has provided a handy ruler here to figure out which piece is the highest position on the construction site. Now, remember those safety certificates that we passed out at the beginning of the game? Another way to win is to be the last person with safety certificates. If I'm building and I gotta place my worker on a white or a red with 2 bricks here, so I take my 2 bricks, my worker, and let's say I'm trying to place him here on my white space, and something happens, and while I'm placing my bricks, I knock over that guy, my turn will end instantly, and that will be considered an accident. The player who will go next first has to clean up the construction site. Any piece that is touching the table must be put back in the supply. If the girders have slid off and are partially touching the table, they can either be put back in the supply or they can go back to where they were. That ruler I mentioned earlier also has a handy hook in case we knock a worker into the middle of the playing area that's hard to get. You can use that hook to fish him out. Now, if in the process of fishing out or cleaning up, that next player has knocked over even more stuff, their turn ends and it will go to the next player's turn. When you cause this accident, your turn's over, as well as you lose one of your safety awards. If you happen to lose all 3 of your safety awards, you are kicked out of the game and are disqualified. Now, if everybody but you has lost all their safety certificates, they will be kicked out of the game and you will by default have won the game. The third and final way to end the game and possibly win is to run out of building supplies. Now, this is very rare and happens almost never, but if you've run out of a building supply and you need to place it on the construction site, the game instantly ends. The player with the most combined safety awards and Employee of the Month awards will win the game. This game also comes with this crane variant. So we got this crane here, and initially you will set it up at the beginning of the game when you're putting down those first supports and girders. So you'll place it just in the middle of the playing area, and it can be used to kind of place your girders off of to add that extra difficulty. Now again, you're not supposed to use a hand to stabilize it, but I'm not very great at this. So for the sake of the video, we got it. Thank you for learning how to play Men at Work with me. This has been Joe with Playing by the Rules. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Join me for the next game over here